Hi, I'm Bill Babcock with Expert Amateur. Today we're going to take a little tour of the work so far on our solar container project. This is a pretty big project. It'll be 3-phase power to run this shop. We're building a solar container project. My shop here is 3-phase power, and up until recently, doing anything 3-phase with solar power was expensive and probably almost prohibitive. So the panels we're using are these Aptos 370 watt bifacial panels. Very nice looking, but beyond being nice looking, they're bifacial. So, and we will use that to optimize the amount of power we get out of them. So this is the rack for the panels, or it's half of one. There'll be two of these racks. The panels, the containers themselves are 40 feet long. So this is a little over 20 feet long. And then this can hold 12 panels, as you can probably guess. So it's, I welded this up yesterday. It's still got a little more work to do. But it's the 4th of July. It's going to be blazing hot today, and I don't really feel like welding. And I'm going to weld pivots onto the edge of that container. And the pivots will pivot the panels right here in the middle. I'll show you what the pivots look like. So the pivots that go on the container look like this, and they'll be welded on the edge of the container like that. And then the panel pivots look like this in the container. And then a 1-inch bolt that these pivot on. So this will be easy to pivot. It's actually sitting. I mean, I can move this with just my toe, even though it's enormously heavy. So the containers are going to be moved to here. We poured concrete yesterday. I was going to put our logo on it, but I did him wrong. But so the first container is going to go right here. It'll sit on these pedestals. Once we get the container in place, I'll be painting it. I'm going to paint it to look kind of like the shop. I mean, same kind of gray paint that you see on the wood there. But the south-facing side and the roof will be painted a high reflectivity white to boost the output of the panels through the bifacial sides. I'm working on a video to show how we're going to connect the inverters. We're using EG4 18K inverters, 2 of them from Signature Solar, and 2 of the wall mount batteries initially. We'll probably scale all this up as we go, but this is all an experiment, and I may be doing some additional ground mounts. The roof here has great solar potential, but it's a 15-year-old roof. I'm not sure I want to poke holes in it, but I'll have to have an expert take a look at the roof and tell me when the likely replacement time is. If I'm going to have to replace the roof, I don't want to cover it with solar panels. So ground mounts are a likely solution. I don't have to worry too much about them, and as you can see here, I have a lot of unshaded ground that I can put ground mounts on and increase the solar capacity hugely. So we're well underway on this. There will be, I'm working, as I said, I'm working on another video to explain how the inverters will be configured, how we'll be making three-phase power out of solar power. It's always been kind of possible to do that, but it's been expensive and difficult and not particularly reliable. But there's been a lot of advances in the past few years and has made this possible. I'm actually going to be using what would be normally considered residential equipment to generate three-phase power from the sun. So it's kind of an interesting development. Both the SolarArc and the EG4 18K are capable of generating three-phase power. And since this shop is already all wired for three-phase, even though I don't use much of it, it makes sense for me to make certain that I don't degrade the power system into a single phase. Single phase power is not particularly desirable, and three-phase is. So part of the value of this shop, the long-term value of this shop, is the three-phase power. But I digress. So if you're interested in this project or any of the projects that we're working on, remember to subscribe and like our video, and we will be seeing you shortly.